Alright, folks. Nice one, Clark. You fielding that one. But, alright, folks. Welcome to episode 64 of the wee podcast. Phil here with Clarky.
Hello.
And like we were laughing about this, but today's it's not really serious. But we're talking about serial killers. As you do, a normal thing to talk about. But well, yeah, often. Today we're talking about them, their motives, sort of what serial killers are, and why they sort of do it. But we've mentioned the Ted Bundy documentary quite a lot in the episode, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it first. 6 or 7 hours,
4 episodes,
6 or 7 hours of your life. But no, if you haven't watched it, then just be aware that we have actually said quite a few things about it in this. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it, and then come back to this.
Enjoy.
Ask you a few questions here, mate.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
What were you like as a child? Sad and disturbed, nodding, menacing, loud and hyper, don't remember, happy and calm, or quiet and pensive?
I was probably happy and calm. I reckon.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm sort of like that now. Sometimes.
Okay. You say so. Which of these have you fantasized about? Having total control and domination over another human being.
Okay.
Violent sex.
Oh wow. Right.
Eating human flesh.
Okay.
Dissecting people and or animals. Or you don't want to know.
None of those. Is there an option for none of those?
No.
Go through those options again.
Having total control and domination over another human being. Violent sex. Eating human flesh. Dissecting people and or animals. Or you don't want to know.
The last one, because I don't. All those are terrible. Yeah. That's really nasty.
But then just you don't want to know would sort of mean that it could be even worse than all of them put together.
Or more embarrassing.
Or more embarrassing, sorry. Yeah. What would you do if you saw a sparrow with a broken wing on the side of the road?
Oh dear.
Put him in a box next to my bed and fall asleep to his gentle whimpering. Take him home and stuff him. Wrap a bandage around him and help him fly away. Stroke his little head and cry. The fact you're laughing at this is really worrying.
I don't know.
Wrap a bandage?
Yeah.
I don't think you would, but...
No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably leave it there.
Well, you can't... Well, I've already picked it now.
I know, but there wasn't an option for leave it there.
That's terrible. You would leave it.
I would.
That's awful. Do you wet the bed? No. Okay.
No. I answered
Well,
that far
if you
too
let
quick.
me ask the question...
I answered that far too quick.
Yeah, you did. You don't even have all the options yet. Right, so no.
Yeah.
When I'm drunk. I did when I was a kid, or sometimes.
No. I've never... I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Sometimes, just...
I've never...
Have you ever set fire to something?
Yes.
Listen! No. Only when I was a kid. No, but I dream about it. One time I set a house on fire for fun.
Go one more time?
No.
Yeah.
Only when I was a kid.
Yeah.
No, but I dreamed about it when I was... No, that's wrong. No, but I dream about it. And then the last one is one time I set a house on fire for fun. Well, you didn't.
I've never set a house on fire.
Yeah, but when did you do it when you were a kid?
Yeah, but not a house.
No, but it just says only. It just says have you ever set something on fire?
Yeah.
So only when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but I dream about it. Do you ever hear voices in your head? Yes, all the time. No, never, or sometimes.
I'm answering this one. No, I don't.
No, never. Okay. On the average Friday night, which of these activities sounds most like something you'd be doing?
Okay.
Cutting out individual letters from the newspaper to write a special letter for someone. Prowling around sorority houses looking for some fresh meat. Other. Clearing out some new room in the crawl space of my basement. Ordering takeout or hanging out with friends.
I don't know.
It's an average Friday
I'd like
night.
I'd like it to be friends, but average Friday probably take out with Rachel.
So you order takeout?
Yeah.
Okay. Sort of nice to Rachel. Well, I'd rather be friends, but unfortunately I'm just...
Well, no, I wish I could answer that.
That's
'cause
terrible.
We just, obviously we don't hang out every weekend. So.
Which of these girls would you approach in the street and strike a conversation with?
Dear.
There's 4 girls to choose from.
Okay.
They all look disgusting.
So the first one's somebody lying down with like their hair sort of fan behind them. Second one is someone with their back turned, looking at trees. Third one is somebody that's like hugging a pole. I don't know what she's doing. And then the last one's like having like a freak out. Second one.
Okay. Just calculating the results here. Okay. You probably couldn't be
good
a serial killer.
Good.
You're probably not going to be a serial killer anytime soon. You had a fairly normal childhood, and you seem to have be a regular kind of person. But that's what they are. They're average Joes, aren't they? So
yeah, we'll find out.
You don't have any of the classic signs of a killer. You respect all living creatures. You empathise with others, and you don't really feel the need to control everything around you. You're happy to go with the flow and enjoy what life has to offer. You should get your friends to take the test. You should never know. The person you least expect in your life could be waiting to unleash their inner serial killer.
I hope not.
Well,
the escape room, no one gets out. We all get murdered.
That's terrible.
I'm
not going to take it because I know for a fact it will tell me I'm a serial killer. And
I've taken it already and I've failed it 7 times or past it.
But I have changed every single answer, so it's
just no.
It's clearly broken. You know, it's always just favoured you, but
yeah. Well, there you are. I'm probably not a serial killer, so that's good news.
I'm me.
What is a serial killer?
It's a guy who kills people. It's not a guy, but it could be a man or a woman who kills a lot of people.
You're supposed to ask. You're supposed to. I don't know. Say you don't know.
Well, that's what it is.
No, just say you don't know. What is a serial killer?
We'll just add that one out. Say it again.
What is a serial killer?
No, say it properly.
What?
Say it properly.
What is a serial killer?
There you go. I was like, what is a serial killer? Say it with some confidence, Clarky.
We're going to edit this anyway, so...
Okay, I don't know.
So what is a serial killer?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know? I'll tell you. So a serial killer is typically a person who murders 3 or more people, usually in service of an abnormal psychological gratification, which we'll go through later on in more detail. Where the murders taking place over more than a month and including up to basically a significant period of time between them, as again we'll go through later on. They're not in like 3 weeks, it's over years, sometimes decades. So basically different authorities do apply different criteria. It is standardized, as most people would say 3, some people will say 4, some will say 2, but it's in and around between 2 and 4. So
I think 2's a silly number though.
Yeah,
because then if you kill 2 people in a car accident, does that make you a serial killer?
No, unless one of them, unless it's a really slow car accident, and one of them dies in March, and then the next one is like April, and then there's like a month in between. And well, anyway, the FBI, they define it as a series of 2 or more committed as separate events, usually but not always by one offender acting alone. Obviously there were like
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, and the murderers. They obviously were a couple.
Yeah.
That sort of did together.
Bonnie and Clyde.
No, they were bank robbers.
Yeah, but they still murdered people.
Probably did, but
no, they didn't.
They could well have, but anyway.
They probably did, but I mean, it's back in the day anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's slide. It's nothing to do with us. Yeah. But
neither is this. But let's delve in.
One thing that most serial killings involve is sexual contact with a victim.
Why? I wonder.
I don't know. I think it's a control thing.
But it's blokes and women. Like if a man marries a man, my goodness me, this is going off all tangents here. If a man kills a man, why is there going to be anything sexual in there for? And then a woman kills a woman. What's the problem? If you want to kill someone, just kill them. Don't tickle them first.
Well, no, they probably shouldn't do that. Don't. If you want to kill someone, don't go and speak to someone.
Okay, well that should.
But but
that's another thing.
But
dear.
Anyway, basically,
you definitely did pass that test.
Yeah,
I didn't. So.
But basically, murders may be attempted or completed in a similar fashion, which again,
similar fashion
allude to. The victims may have something in common as well. But it's very key this point. Apparently, a serial killer is not a mass murderer nor a spree killer. but there may be overlaps between a serial killer and a spree killer, for example. So like a spree killer would be like a mass murder would be like somebody that goes in like for example the guy who did the shooting in Vegas from the hotel and killed like loads of people.
Oh yeah.
Or go into school,
Columbine,
something horrible like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a
So
spree
America,
killer,
like every day.
yeah, a spree killer would be like a kill every day for 4 days. It's a killing spree.
Just think
Whereas
about that though. Just think
then you
about it.
stop and then for months and then you might do it again.
Yeah.
Then you'd be considered like a serial killer but also a spree killer.
Yeah, I think it's a bit mad that mass murder is like an actual thing in America almost every day though, because the amount of school shootings and stuff and shootings in general in America is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and
That's crazy to think about. That's just just a thing there.
but you know the actual term serial killer, we're obviously talking to America. It's commonly attributed to FBI, a guy called Robert Ressler, who used the term serial homicide in a 74 lecture in a place called Bramshall Police Academy in the UK.
Oh.
But then other people dispute that he wasn't the first person to use the term. Basically, a lady called Anne Rule, who has a book called Kiss Me, Kill Me, came out in 2004.
Why?
She, I don't know, but I suppose sort of sexual contact and death thing all over again.
Kill me.
And
Is that a song?
she credits to a guy called an LAPD detective, Pierce Brooks.
I thought you were going to hear Pierce Brosnan there for a
Yeah.
second.
Though,
James Bond just hello.
but again, there's proof that it was used even earlier than this, or there's evidence. Sorry, I should say, not proof. But the German term, and concept were coined. Can almost talk. Were coined by a criminologist called Ernst Gennett, who described a guy called Peter Kürten as a Serienmörder. It's German.
Serial murder.
So Serienmörder, which is a serial murderer, in an article he wrote in 1930.
Thought you were talking about Lord of the Rings there for a second.
It's new in every Shire shop.
Yeah.
It's a mortar cereal called Serienmörder. The earliest usage of the actual specific term serial killer was listed in the Oxford English Dictionary from the 60s.
Jesus.
So it's commonly attributed to that guy, but it has been about for a lot longer. So again, there's a quote from the Washington newspaper, the Evening Star, a review of a book called The Meaning of Murder by John Brophy, came out in 1966. So the review said, there's a mass murderer, or what he calls the serial killer, who may be actuated by greed such as insurance or retention or growth of power, etc., etc. I won't go on, the rest of it boring. So basically, that's again 7 years before this guy. So, but apparently the fact that he called him a serial killer didn't really catch on. Now, as we mentioned, researchers generally say 3 or more murders. They sort of say that's the baseline. Anything less than that, you're not a serial killer.
Well, ding, ding, ding.
So basically, independent of the number of murders, they may need to have been committed at different times as well. At different times, sorry. So as I said, you don't do them all in one day. And like, oh, he's a serial killer. You're not. You're like a mass murderer. If you do more than one, spree is over a period of time. Like a short period of time.
Yeah.
Basically, the lack of a cooling off period or a significant break makes the difference between a spree killer and a serial killer. So like, if you kill one person a week, it's a killing spree. It's not a serial killer. But it's little odds really. Basically, cases of extended bouts of sequential killings over a period of weeks or months with no apparent cooling off period or return to normality have basically suggests that there are actual people called spree serial killers. So I would argue there that Ted Bundy would fall into that.
Yeah.
Because he would go through quite short periods of time and then take
long
big breaks. And then
I just don't understand why they have subgenres for killers. They're a killer for a reason, and they're still going to be committed.
Yeah, it's just so messed up. But I suppose at the end of the day, we love having labels for everything, don't we? So
I don't.
As a
human race, we belong in the bin. What do you want to call him? I will call him Serial.
But basically,
Call her Spree.
2005 in San Antonio, Texas, brought together 135 experts on serial murder.
Jesus.
I know.
Good grief.
And they basically settled on the definition, which is the unlawful killing of 2 or more. So they settle with the FBI.
They brought 135 people in to tell.
They basically come up with exactly the FBI one. So, but yeah, that's where you get the.
That's just
the
difference of
term.
opinion, though, isn't it? Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's like one of those that
135 people's time being wasted to come in and go, yeah.
they probably loved it. They probably thought it was great. They got to come in and define what a serial killer is once and for all. And
I'm Jimmy Buffet, so I was the guy that I was
Phoebe.
one of the 135 people that announced this cake.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was. I thought it was a bit nuts because that's obviously going to be a lot of money for. But then, I suppose.
Do you get paid for that?
For being an expert, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, but I mean, for just naming what a serial killer is like.
I reckon
For
there would be
branding.
consultation fees.
135 people, that's quite a lot of money though.
So they come up, basically, that's 2 or more. They stuck with the FBI. So, there you go.
Well, I suppose, I mean, you may as well. I'd rather go with the FBI than Wikipedia.
But why? I wonder why people even want to be a serial killer. That's how you do a lead-in.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Well,
Let me tell you. I mean, it's no lie. I think if anyone's been on Netflix or has any sort of Netflix account, there's bound to be any god's amount of serial killer things on it or of that sort of nature. And the majority of the time, that whenever you're watching those sort of things, they do tell you what the characteristics are anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and an awful lot of them are mental illness. Obviously, mental health is no joke, like, but
yeah,
these people obviously didn't get help in any way, shape, or form. But basically, they might exhibit some sort of psychotic break. Mm-hmm. So it sort of like makes them think they're someone else, and they have to murder.
like losing a game of Crucible.
What?
Psychotic break.
It's not a psychotic
It is
break.
the
That's
worst.
like. Oh God.
You lose 10 in a row.
Okay, just you go ahead and compare Ted Bundy to anyone who loses.
He didn't have it.
He didn't have what?
Crucible.
He didn't have Crucible back in the day. No. But yeah, so they have psychotic breaks and causing them to believe that they're another person or compelled to murder by other entities, including the likes of the devil and God, basically.
Oh, so messed up, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, people like there are like that's where extremists come from. I'm sure. Like, I mean, that would be
Every type of extremist, that is.
yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, we're going to beat ISIS tomorrow. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's not having nothing on the news. There's
No, I
like
haven't heard
any.
a thing. Do you know how much land they now occupy?
No,
500 square meters, about 2 houses.
that's insane.
That's all they have.
Surprised this one.
That's all that's left.
Nothing's even been said. I mean, the closest thing to the whole ISIS thing at the minute is that girl.
The girl, yeah.
And
And
there's been nothing even said for the past couple of months about it.
I was listening to some stuff on it earlier, and obviously the big camp they're in.
Yeah.
There is one American girl of Yemeni background. Her parents were from Yemen, and they emigrated to America, where obviously she was born, so she is American Yemenese, and then she left to join ISIS at 20. She's now 24, and is being like, I really hope I can go back. I'm like, do you know who's in charge? You think you're gonna get back? And then obviously same sort of deal with the I don't even know her name. I don't want to know her name. Don't care.
Yeah.
She obviously had the baby.
But
Yesterday.
did you see the footage though?
Yeah, she just doesn't care.
But I don't think that was a baby in there.
Why? I think it is.
Did you see what she was holding?
No.
It was just a cloth. Like, it was like a big rag. I mean, the rag was all over. Like, it wasn't. You would think the kid could breathe.
Must be a girl. Not being funny.
Oh yeah, right enough.
Must be a girl.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not a joke. That's legit. That must be what.
Yeah, it must
is.
be. Yeah.
But
Either that or it's just a big Lego brick underneath her
bag of
arm.
spuds.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's possible, like, but no one knows really. Like, I mean, where's the birth certificate? Where's, what's going to happen with all that sort of stuff? Like, but anyway, different thing completely. So they can also exhibit psychopathic behavior. So they could also like consistent with traits common like no remorse, like lack of remorse and no guilt and empathy, whatever, which you've seen in all the shows.
Yeah,
everyone's just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
They really don't.
They genuinely are trying to get away with it by pretending they didn't do it.
But it's the fact that they also get to the point in their life where like believe themselves they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, I suppose people say it enough. You know, that they genuinely start believing it themselves. You know what happens with loads of things, but imagine how strong it must be. Your own belief must be that I'm going to get away with this.
Well, it's the same thing with those. Did you ever see the confession tapes thing?
You know what? I have got on my list because you told me to watch it, where it's like you said that people are sort of not coerced, but it's like they essentially admit to things they just haven't done.
Yeah,
and then
there's
afterwards
a new
they're
one
like,
recently as well.
"Oh, is there a new series?"
Yeah, it's just insane. Like honestly, like I just don't understand if people can get in their own mind that they've done something they haven't even witnessed. Yeah.
Well, what was it like? One of them, I think you were saying. You'll correct me if this is wrong, but it was something like somebody like burnt their daughter alive in the house.
Yeah.
And they basically convinced her that she put a line of fuel like all the way out and filled it, like
and just lit it.
Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you convince someone?
Well, they're ones that are all different stories and stuff. But there's one recently of a murder investigation, and the guy's still in prison today for giving in a false confession. But it was a confession that he gave in, and everything checked out, and he's no more appeals left either.
That's him.
Yeah. So
shit.
Yeah, not great. Like not great, but
let's hope he didn't.
I
let's
mean,
hope. Well, it sounds terrible. But let's hope he did do it.
Oh,
that's
just
terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their traits as well. They had some sort of type of mental illness and stuff. I mean, it's insane to even think about. Really, whenever you like. Every single serial killer, there's not like one normal, quotation that
there's not
commits it, like which is really weird to think about. Another one could be they were often abused emotionally, physically or sexually by a family member
as a child.
Mm-hmm. So, but then like again, you see these in these TV shows. Like I mean, it's the people that sometimes can be reared with two people that are already deranged. You know. They don't know anything else but hurting people and stuff, and there's even confession tapes as well of like people living in a living in a barn or living in some sort of weird house or something. Their dad was like it was like an alcoholic or something, or he was a druggie or something, and he was convinced that like she was sitting and seeing him bring young women home, and his wife was up the stairs, and he was just killing them.
Oh, great.
And then he just had like these mad flashbacks, and he was having these fits, epileptic fits and all, and he was just convinced that he was doing the devil's work, which is just crazy to think about. Like I mean,
so grim.
I know. It's some of the things you watch on Netflix, you're just like, how did this get commissioned to put on this? Like it's crazy. They might be more likely to engage in fetishisms.
Yeah.
So obviously we know about Ted Bundy and stuff, and his
very commonly like cannibalism or necrophilia. It's pretty grim.
Yeah, to the you screw them or you eat them.
Yeah.
To put it.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Yeah.
I never understood the point, but this I don't laugh at that. That's terrible.
So crudely put.
There was a thing. No, I know there was one that was a joke about someone that had cut off a piece of his own leg and cooked it on live television to eat.
It wasn't real, was it?
No, it wasn't real.
Imagine that.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, he said it was real, but apparently it wasn't real. It was like pork or something.
Oh, that's right.
But people have said, like cannibals have said that there is no other taste than human flesh.
Well, they don't like anything else?
Well, whenever they become one, it's like whenever they eat other meat, it just doesn't taste right, or it doesn't taste the same, or it doesn't taste as good.
It's gross. Which is weird to think about, like when you're sitting there going, salt and pepper and a wee bit of his forearm there, you know. But you know what I mean? Like it's strange, like, and I don't understand. Obviously, you wouldn't know until you try it. No, I'm not ever going to try it. Well, I mean, if someone was able to provide some, I couldn't. And it was literally shown that it was off something that is edible, not like someone's scrotum or something, you know. But I mean, but sure, you look at I'm a Celeb, they eat like kangaroo balls and all. That's a form of cannibalism. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's not. It is. Oh, why? How is it? Because if it was like a monkey balls, it would be the same thing, sort of. Well, it would be. If you believe in evolution, it would be. Well, it'd be like 99%. Yeah.
So
97, whatever it is.
yeah, so it would be a form of cannibalism there.
Well, no, because
Well, yes, it would, because we come from the lovely hairy people. So yeah, do you not think it would be like some sort of, at least to a degree, of some sort of cannibalism, like?
No. As long as we're above them in the food chain, I don't think it counts.
Well, fair enough.
Like, for me, I think as long as you're dominant, it's just hunting. You know what I mean? So if you're the dominant species, then, and we are top of the food chain, aren't we? So,
well, we don't know
at
that.
the moment,
We don't know that. We don't know that yet. Could be anyone coming in now. Donald Trump could be the blooming top. You never know with all this crap. Man.
he'll be dead in like 5 years. Anyway,
What?
he's like old.
He's not. Well, he is actually. He's quite like 70 odd years old.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Ozzy's 7 years old as well.
Poor man.
He's doing fine. It's good.
Yeah.
That's weird. Actually, one of the questions I don't remember in the quiz, it was, you ever like burnt anything or
Yeah.
set fire to something? Many are fascinated with the fire setting. So they're
I enjoy watching fire,
yeah.
but I don't like uncontrolled fire, if that makes sense. So like if somebody has like a fire in their house, it is mesmerizing to look at because it's class. Like
I rephrase
like
that
sort of-
because that's not what you meant.
what do you mean?
Like a fireplace,
Yeah.
not a fire in their house.
No. Sorry. I don't
Hey,
just
your kitchen's on fire. It's great, like.
look at that.
Got a
But-
scorch mark, sir. Look, I
You
see
should
it.
probably leave. No. It's like that "this is fine" meme.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like in a fireplace or
But I
a
mean,
log burner thing, you know,
a dog
like
burner.
log burner,
A log
thing,
burner.
like
I thought you said a
what
dog
do you call
burner.
it? Wood burners? Sorry,
Wood
not
burners.
log
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of those, or
But I'm
like
sure we've all, as kids, like lit things on fire though.
yeah,
Like
it's great. It was great, but like
I remember stealing loads of hankies and stuff and just lighting them on fire.
Yeah, I remember there's a rope swing.
Oh,
somewhere,
rope,
and
fire, lighting
it
fire.
was
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
I don't think we're serial killers because of that though.
no, that's just being a kid.
I think that one should be sort of taken away because there haven't really been an awful lot that I've seen that have got
Well,
a fire setting behind.
I wonder
them.
whether that's something to do with like burning the bodies and stuff. You know, sometimes they would do that.
So, but then someone would chop them up. But no one's a fascinated with butchers though, are they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's a
Was the Shankel butcher or was he?
butcher.
Was he a serial killer?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
You might as well check it out. Whilst you check it, I'll look through the things. Obviously, it says about sadistic activity, which I mean makes sense. But it says here that the majority of the time, it's especially in children who have not reached sexual maturity. The activity may take the form of torturing animals. So, have you ever seen The Omen,
Yes.
where he like tortures animals and stuff, and that, or was he tortures a sheep or something, or
I don't remember, but I know I've seen the film. But like
Yeah.
for example, like the
Maybe it
woman
might not
being
be
like,
the
"I'm
one.
doing this for you, Damien," and then she
Yeah.
like walks off and hangs herself. It's the most grim thing ever.
yeah, but obviously that's paranormal, but you know that's not real. But obviously people do, as kids, weirdly enough, decide to torture animals for some weird and strange reason.
Shankel butchers were a gang.
Oh.
In fact, they killed 23 people, at least.
Holy crap!
They were a gang of was an Ulster loyalist gang, many of whom were members of the UVF. It was active between 1975 and 1982. So there you go.
There you go. Nice little fun fact from Clarky.
I'm all
Man,
over it. I'm all
Calls
over
them fun facts, which are the complete opposite. But this is a strange one. I thought you might have been a part of this one, but it says more than 60% or simply a large proportion wet their beds beyond the age of 12.
it. No.
So 11 then you finished, is it? Just the day before your 12th birthday.
Thank God.
Yeah. So you're Christian now?
Huh?
You're Christian now?
Didn't say which one.
Oh. But you didn't specify what God though, like you didn't say his name
Don't need to.
or her name.
Don't need to.
Okay. Some were involved in petty crimes, such
Yep.
as Fred. He's a fraud.
Fraud.
Such as Fred, yeah, fraud, theft, vandalism, or similar offences. But
Yeah. That's interesting because I'll get the wee thing later on that'll link into very nicely.
okay, I mean, this one again we've seen in TV shows and stuff that the majority of the time they're bullied as kids as well. You know, socially isolated.
That's a control thing, I think.
Yeah,
A lot.
whenever they become, that makes the most sense. There was one, Henry Lee Lucas was ridiculed as a child and later cited the mass rejection by his peers as a cause for his hatred of everyone. Kenneth Bianchi was teased as a child because he urinated his pants. You laugh?
I don't know why I said urinated.
What?
I was expecting you to say wet himself, but you said urinated.
What's wrong with urinated?
I just wasn't ready for
That's
that.
terrible.
I just wasn't ready for that.
He suffered twitching and as a teenager was ignored by his peers. That's sad.
Probably because he urinated his pants. It's awful.
You're a terrible
I
person.
just can't believe that's the way you said that. I was so
What, urinated?
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for that.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be so formal. It just caught me out.
That's what it says. It's not going to go, well, he peed his pants and then he had a twitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Still, that was funny.
It's terrible.
It's not funny what you did, obviously, but
No, obviously not. Obviously not. They said, obviously, the IQ is usually quite low.
really,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I
Um,
would have thought the other way around.
lower. Well, that's the thing. But that, like, it's like a, oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like they're really good at manipulation,
Yeah,
so they can manipulate you to think, oh, these boys are smart as
yeah,
everything.
they are clever.
Yeah. I mean, Ted Bundy was the exact, like, he
I'm
was
gonna be a lawyer.
yeah, but he was smart enough to the point where he could get away with things for so long. They have to have some sort of smarts to
Yeah.
get away for things
Yeah.
for ages, like. But it says studies have suggested that serial killers generally have an average or low average IQ, although they are often described and perceived as possessing IQs in the above average range. A sample of 202 IQs of serial killers had a median IQ of 89.
Frig.
That is quite low.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's from what we've seen as well on TV shows. They're all the same. They do say they are quite dim-witted, unfortunately, but that's just what they seem to be, unfortunately.
Well, fortunately, because they get caught.
Well, yeah, but eventually. But the fact that it even happened in the first place shouldn't really be a, like, if you're. I just don't understand how it gets to a point though that you're okay. Because although IQ doesn't necessarily mean anything, it just means you're not mentally aware. Really, that's just all it means. You're not smart enough to get the simplest of things. But does that then incorporate itself into right from wrong? Do you know what I mean? Because
that goes back to our episode on like morals. And
but does that
stuff,
mean
so-
though that they think they believe? Like, do they believe themselves that much? Because
No, I think they know what they're doing's wrong. Like,
I
think
don't.
they know.
Well, I don't think. That's,
I just don't think it's like kleptomania. Like people like steal and they're like, "Oh God, why did I do that?"
yeah.
Like they know they shouldn't, but they do it, and then, like I'm sure it's the same with well, I don't really know, like theft, for example. Like people are like, "I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it anyway." Because there's no way they're going like they're like choking somebody out, being like, "This smells alright." This is
But there
definitely
are
illegal.
some of them that you just go, well, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, well, those people are just there is something 100% wrong with them. I remember there was, what do you call them? News reporter, black guy, big glasses. He's like really famous. Oh my word!
Oh, no.
I keep wanting to say
It's-
George Alagaya, but I don't think that's right.
His name went through my head there, literally for a split second.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
He
know
went.
who
He
you're
went and did like interviews with people like this, and one of the interviews he sort of
Trevor
he said-
McDonald.
Yes, thank you. And he
Oh.
well done.
I
And
was
he,
so close. I was like, Trevor.
So glad you got there because I would not get in there.
Yeah.
But he did an interview with a
He's
serial killer.
a great interviewer, though.
Excellent.
Very
And
good
like
interviewer.
whenever he was speaking to this guy, he was like, "Do you regret what you did?" He was like, "No."
Yeah, no, I watched that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched
and
that.
like it was one of those that like he had no regrets, as you say, no remorse, and
But no empathy for the family, though.
no, he didn't care at all. He was just like, "No, did it because they were like my mum's friends and stuff." He was killing. You're like, "What is going on there?" And he just didn't care.
But even with the Charles Manson murders as well, like he didn't. He think he only killed 2 people, but the rest of his
family.
family did the murders for him.
And they killed Roman Polanski's pregnant wife.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, some of them you read, you're just like, what on earth? Like, it's
I listened to a
crazy.
really good episode on them. I can't remember if it was a 1 or 2 parter. Through stuff you should know before. Really good.
Oh yeah.
Really good.
I can't remember how he died though, Charles Manson.
I think he died.
I think he got killed.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a cancer or something.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, I thought he was killed in prison. I know you're the. What do you call him?
Maybe, I'm almost certain he died like fairly. There you go. Sorry, it was colon cancer.
Oh, was cancer?
Flip, he was really small.
Yeah, he was a tiny wee man.
5'2".
It's strange to think as well. Like obviously he must have had some presence on him to just.
2017 he died.
Yeah, he must have had some presence on him to just have people follow him. Like
just pure
like Santa.
Obsessed with him. Yeah, obsessed.
Yeah. Have you got your wee thing you're wanting to say?
Yeah, it's sort of coming off the back of like sort of habits and weird things they would do. Obviously they would, well, as most people would say, obviously, but what they would do is they would take like
souvenirs,
trophies, if you like.
Yeah.
I read a really grim one. That Jack the Ripper used to take uteruses, which is horrible.
Uterusi.
And the but anyway, basically there's now Memorabilia, which is dubbed Murderabilia. So for example,
I like that name.
A guy called Andrei Chikatilo.
Okay.
He is one of the best known opponents of it. He just thinks it's horrible. Nobody basically, when I say what, I should probably tell you what it is first. So basically it's like paintings, writings, poems, things like that. They're not like, oh, I've got one of the uteruses that Jack, whatever. It's nothing like that.
It's like Nazi memorabilia type of things. Like
sort of, it's almost like glorifying them. So for example,
Nazi memorabilia is very different. That's just stuff that you think is sort of
that's like could be linked in some way.
Yeah.
This is nothing like that. It's like trading cards, action figures. There's books such as
what?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like the likes of like the Nazi stuff. Like you would have
people are that.
I mean historical things, not like
this is like people.
These have no link at all to any of the
people are
murders
basically getting in on this, and are like
profiting from it and stuff.
Yeah, there's trading cards, action figures. There's a book
Who
called
makes these? Not corporate companies, surely.
Yeah, like there's
You're having me on here.
A book called The Serial Killer Files: The Who, What, Where, How, and Why of the World's Most Terrifying Murderers by a guy called Harold Schechter. And then the A to Z Encyclopedia of Serial Killers by Schechter and David Everett.
But that's okay because that is literally telling you who, like, that's an okay thing because that's like going on the Wikipedia and seeing who's the
then they basically some serial killers obviously attain that celebrity status, if you like this Netflix documentary at the moment of
Ted Bundy.
Bundy is, like, he's obviously going to be a film. Zac Efron's acting. I think that's a Netflix film as well. They bought it, I think.
Yeah, I've seen a trailer for it and people have went mad about it because it's literally glorifying what he did.
I don't know. Like,
the trailer did. It did seem.
I haven't seen the trailer, but like
you should watch it.
It just
literally like like Stranger Things. It's like.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Iffy.
It's not even anywhere what you would think it would be. Like it is creepy, disgusting, and I just from the trailer itself, the taste of the film looks quite bad. But I hope the film's
might
good.
Change, but like Zac Efron, I think isn't a bad.
Do you know who should be him?
Who?
Dennis Reynolds.
You think?
Yes.
Glenn Harton is. Yeah, I sort of see it. Yeah, I sort of see it. Maybe not the nose, but like, I
his
see.
actions in Sunny is enough to
to
qualify. To qualify as being Ted Bundy. I think Glenn Harton is 100% there. Like, but
he actually would be quite good.
Not saying he's a really, really vile man or anything like, but
no,
he's a really, really good actor. And
yeah.
I think the more testimony to him. I think that whenever you dislike the character, then you know it's a good actor because they're
like
really
Joffrey in
pissing
Game
you
of
off.
Thrones.
Well, people did hate him.
George R. Martin wrote him a note. After I think it was series 1 or 2, just said, "Congratulations, everyone hates you."
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Amazing.
But that's the sort of thing you would want. Like, well, not want, but
yeah,
like
that's what
or
you're aiming
dislike.
for.
That's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for the max of the hatred and the max of the good. That's what you want.
Basically, off the back, you were obviously talking about things like
you thought it was memorabilia from certain things.
Like the knife or something, maybe.
That's all
in a history museum.
I've actually seen in Vegas. There's the Mob Museum, and they've got the actual wall from the Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh wow!
In there,
that's
all the bullet holes and stuff. It's like behind glass.
Oh yeah,
but like you can get like right up, and the glass is like really close to the wall.
Well, see, I like
see all the bullet holes.
I like the idea of having museums because I think it's nice to sort of look back and think that these people were caught and they've. I wouldn't say they've served. They wouldn't
glorifying them. That's the only thing, and I think that's part of this is that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were saying about celebrity status.
But that's the same thing as the Holocaust and stuff. Like you could because they've made the museum now. Obviously, that there's no money going to.
That'd be funny. Is there a gift shop?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Jesus.
I obviously haven't been. I was just curious as to whether they would be like, I'll get a mug. But obviously, I was just checking. Genuinely just checking. I had no idea.
There's a little bookstore, but it's not like you go in and buy a book and.
You don't get like a key ring.
No.
Right, it's like history sort of thing.
Yeah, it's literally. But I mean, it's not.
I wasn't sure how like poor taste it would be.
That's very poor taste in my opinion. Like,
I agree, but that's what I was wondering in the areas surrounding it whether.
I mean, I dare say people would profit off it somehow, which I think
that'd be disgusting.
Yeah.
No.
But it is quite museum-esque now because it is just showing you where things were and. Mm-hmm. It is a memoriam type of thing as well, because they have memoriams. They have pictures of all the people that have died and stuff, which is
all of them really.
A good amount of them.
Really? Wow.
You think the amount of places there were that they were all kept in and were sleeping and stuff, and there was obviously the wall where they were shot has been blocked off, so you can't see it, which is good. So you can't. You can go. So they have this like a wall over it with all flowers and candles and stuff in front of the actual wall that was.
Well, why can you not see that?
Well, if you go behind it, you could probably look in, but I don't think anyone would want to do that. It's like, okay. So the wall, say for talk's sake, it's like the size of this room.
Okay.
The wall is about the size of this.
So you could look around it.
So you could look around it. Obviously, it's not what it.
But what would you see? Like, would it not
probably a lot of bullet holes and stuff. But it's just I just don't think it would be a nice thing because people just were executed there.
Yeah, I just don't think it's. I was just curious as to whether there was something like.
No, there's nothing
horrible that I wouldn't have thought of. But
no, there's just a cafe and stuff. That's just for places to get their snacks. But I mean, people have said online like it's horrible even putting a cafe there because the people that were there were starved and stuff. But it's.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's out of the way.
It's also you're trying to make some sort of memoriam to these people as well. At the same, I would probably put nothing there if it was me, but that's just.
It is. It's one of those things that it's going to be a reminder, stand as a reminder for how horrible that was, and that's a complete understatement. But
but again, I can understand this not wanting. I mean, you can imagine how people would get on. I didn't think it would have like trading cards and action figures.
They do, and they've also got.
Actually, right now, if you think about that now, Assassin's Creed released the Jack the Ripper thing for
one of their Rogue, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. It was Rogue, and it's not even that. It's that there are personal possessions that once they do attain this celebrity status, for want of a better term, that I don't know exactly what's been sold, but you could imagine like Ted Bundy's, watch.
Oh yeah.
That sort of thing. Again, that's just an example of someone that's current at the moment, but that sort of stuff does go on, like trading of, as you say, Nazi memorabilia. But what I was getting at originally was the fact that it's not, just as an example, like, and I don't think you can get this, but like a Top Trump set would be just messed up.
That would be insane. That would literally.
I don't think it exists. It probably doesn't. But
if Top Trumps were to make that, I think they would probably go under themselves. But
they would be in trouble. Yeah, definitely. I've got a load of like old Top Trumps I got from my grandma's house. There's like tanks and stuff.
Oh yeah. Top Trumps were class back in the day. But
I got a Rick and Morty set for Christmas. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's class.
That's class. Like
it's good fun.
There should be an awful lot of cars in that then, really, should there?
50 is usual amount, whatever the usual amount is.
There's an awful lot of characters to put in a Top Trump thing for.
Some of the characters are like hilarious. So but it's good. It's good fun. And like there's, for example, there's like Rick, and then there's Pickle Rick, and then there's like Morty C-137, and there's Evil Morty. So like some characters there's like.
So they're just the variations of them then.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a bit mad though. Murderabilia. That's
the thing, and I just think it's just wrong.
so. Whenever I first I do like the name Murderabilia. But I don't.
Sounds like a band.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It sounds like a death metal band. Yeah,
That's nice.
but
Yeah.
I think if it, I don't know.
Murderabilia, are you ready?
Yeah, but then Nolly just sang a song about serial killers. It'd be a really strange thing. But there are bands that would do that. Like, to be fair, but
Yeah.
I have some traits here of certain serial killers. Smooth talking but insincere. Can you think of anyone recently I've been talking about like 2 seconds ago who's literally fits that model in ridiculous? Like, it's just
Ted Bundy.
yeah.
Like the footage in that series, for anyone that hasn't seen it, I suppose we probably should have spoiled it out ages ago, but the footage in that, like, even whenever he's doing the interview, do you remember he's in the little jail cell that he was allowed to walk to and from the library? Can't remember where it is exactly, but he's sitting and he's doing the interview and he's being quite nonchalant, smiley. You know, he doesn't get particularly angry or anything, and
But when he does get angry, you see him get angry.
Oh, his face just changes, doesn't
But
it?
it's when people undermine him as well, and they sort of question his intelligence, and he just knows they're doing it. He's just like, he has that little flicker of the eye, just like, no.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Don't like that, and then he just talks about it. It's insane.
Yeah.
It says the Ted Bundy was a charmer, the kind of guy that made it easy for people to be swept into his web. I liked him immediately, but people like Ted can fool you completely, which is Anne Rule, the author.
Oh, same person? No way.
The author of the best-selling Stranger Beside Me, so it's in the book.
When was that out? Does it say?
No, it does not.
No.
About her experiences with Bundy, a man she considered a friend. I'd been a cop, had all that psychology. This is really badly worded. It's really bad from the insider, but there you go. It's really strange. But he had all that psychology, but his mask was perfect. I say that long acquaintance can help you know someone, but you can never be really sure. Scary. That's mad to think about that. But he was a smooth talker. He said whatever he wanted to say just to please people. And whenever people heard it, they were like, "You're a nice fella." Because you see that TV show, everyone was just like,
I don't think he's done it. I think he's going to get away with it. I think this, I think that, and that'll have a lot to do with the way he portrays himself and puts himself. He almost like looked as if he wanted to be in the media, because if he got people behind him, maybe the jury would see it, and you know, like, that's.
There are forms of that, to be fair, but I've got a couple more. I've got a couple more of motives as well, because I wouldn't say we're running out of time, because it is a podcast. We don't have a time, a specific thing, but obviously I don't want to go on too long, because people are like, I don't want to do. People are going to be here, but now I'm going to die. So they're usually egocentric.
Okay.
So here's one about Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper thought the world of himself and felt he would outsmart police. Wonder what his IQ was. So much so that he sent letters taunting the London officers. Dear boss, he wrote.
Jack the Ripper is never found. They have no idea who it is.
Yeah.
To this day, they never will. Get away with it. They have no idea.
Well, it doesn't really matter now, does it?
No, but I just think.
I mean, it was a long time ago now. Like,
yeah, and obviously DNA and stuff would have been useful then. But
could you imagine, like, later on now that people have been like, "Oh my goodness, that's his DNA." It could be like his great granddaughter or something. Now it's like, I went through that into Jack the Ripper.
But they don't
Why
know.
is it
It's just mad. Like, some people have no idea. It's crazy.
I know. Well, it's the same as that Lopez fella. Pedro. He wrote, "Dear." I know he's over 300 people. He's 7 years old. Mad, like. I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet.
What's that mean?
I assume fix him, help him. I don't know.
But they didn't catch him.
Well, he
Just
says,
get
I
a
keep on
recheck.
hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about leather apron gave me real fits. I am down on whores, and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled. They do. This is back in the day, like, so. Grand work. The last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. Grim, like. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I save some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write about with, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Red ink is fit enough, I hope. Ha ha. The next job I shall do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send to the police officers.
Oh, grim.
My knife's so nice and sharp, I want to get to work right away if I get a chance. Good luck.
Holy crap, that's so grim.
Yeah, well, there's the egocentric in him there. Like, I mean, he literally did think he was top dog, like, didn't he?
Yeah, and he
Crazy.
sort of got away with it. So.
Yeah.
So grim.
Still doesn't justify it, like, but...
No,
I mean,
no, it's still horrible what he was doing, but
Yeah.
that's really creepy, even listening to that, you know.
Lack of remorse or guilt, that's one we said earlier on. Joel Rifkin was filled with self-pity after he was convicted of killing and dismembering at least 9 women. He called his conviction a tragedy, but later in prison he got into an argument with mass murderer Colin Ferguson over whose killing spree was more important. And when Ferguson taunted him for only killing women, Rifkin said, yeah, but I had more victims.
Competition.
Mad, like, isn't it?
Horrible.
Another one, lack of empathy. Andrei Chikatilo.
I think I know who you're on about.
Who feasted on bits of genitalia, both male and female, after his kills, thought nothing of taking a life, no matter how torturous it was for his victims. I think that's disgusting. Like, I mean, why on earth would you want to do that? This is weird. The whole thing, the cries, the blood, the agony, gave me relaxation and a certain pleasure, he said. Disgusting, like.
Disgusting.
Deceitful.
Honestly, I can't hear that word.
Disgusting.
Yeah, without
Disgusting.
without that coming into my head.
Yeah. Deceitful and manipulative. So on. John Wayne Gacy. Weirdo. Refused to take responsibility for the 28 boys buried beneath his house.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Even though he also once said that clowns can get away with murder. I think after 14 years under truth serum I had committed the crime, I would have known it. Said the man in the neighbours. In the neighbours? This is terribly worded. There's got to be something that would click in my mind. I've had photos of 21 of the victims and I've looked at them all over the years here. I've never recognised any one of them.
But what? That's so...
But that's the same, like, it's the same thing with the guys, like, you know, in those confession tapes, like, they didn't do it. And some of them were they got okay. They were released from prison. They didn't do it, but he's like, I never did it, but he clearly did.
Yeah.
You know, which is, I just don't understand. Like, I mean, low IQ or high, but do you know, obviously.
Did I forgot.
But there you go. It's just mad. Like, shallow emotions. German serial killer Rudolf Pleil, convicted of killing 10 people and later took his own life in prison, compared his hobby of murder to playing cards. And later told police, what I did is not such a great harm. With all these surplus women nowadays anyway, I had a good time.
Surplus? Oh my god.
Bit mad, like...
That's like objectifying, isn't it? Like...
Well, yeah, but he's just saying that there's enough to go around basically as well, like, which is kind of disgusting. Impulsive. Tommy Lynn Sells, who claimed responsibility for dozens of murders throughout the Midwest and South, saw a woman at a convenience store and followed her home. An impulse he was unable to control, he said. He waited until the house went dark. Then I went into this house. I go to the first bedroom I see. I don't know whose room it is, and I just start stabbing.
What?
The victim was the woman's young son.
Oh, God.
So, the fact that he followed the woman home, got into her house and just killed anybody, didn't really matter. I just think it's weird, like, poor behaviour controls. I wish I could stop, but I could not. I had no other thrill or happiness, said the UK killer DennisNilsen, who killed at least 12 young men via strangulation, then bathed and dressed their bodies before disposing of them, often by burning them. So there's the fire that came in through it anyway. And the last one, well, there's 2 more, but there's actually 4 more, 5 more. Good grief, that's loads. Okay, this one, need for excitement. Albert Fish, killed with a side of sadism that included sending a letter to the mother of one of his victims, describing in detail how he cooked and ate her daughter. Even the idea of his own death was one he found particularly thrilling. Going to the electric chair will be the supreme thrill of my life, he said.
It almost makes you not want to do it.
Yeah. You don't want to sort of give him that sort of thrill that he's like, I think it's mad to even think about it. People are actually thinking like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else I can even add to that. It's just horrible.
Just disgusting.
It's just disgusting. Yeah,
It's weird.
it's demented and it's wrong and
I've got a couple of motives here as well. Motives, really. I mean, for these people, from what we've read and what we've sort of watched over the past however long. I mean, I don't know. I've watched a few things on YouTube and stuff, and motives just don't seem to be a thing. I just think they just feel like I was just going to kill anybody. I don't think it mattered who it was or what time of the day it was. It didn't really matter to them. But a motive would be mission orientated. So that's sort of self-explanatory, really. But it says mission-oriented killers typically justify their acts as ridding the world of a certain type of person perceived as undesirable, such as gay or lesbian people, prostitutes, or people of different ethnicity or religion. However, they are generally not psychotic.
Really? Okay.
Some see themselves as attempting to change society, often to cure a societal ill.
Okay.
Which is in itself psychotic, in my opinion.
Horrible.
Visionary serial killers suffer from psychotic breaks, which was told earlier on, with reality sometimes believing they are another person or compelled to murder. I said that earlier on. That's weird. That wasn't even written down. Compelled to murder by entities such as the devil or God. That could have been from that TV show I watched actually quite a while ago. That one with the woman with the burning the house down.
Okay, yeah.
There were other ones. The two most common subgroups are demon mandated and God mandated. So there you go.
Would be, yeah.
Herbert Mullen believed the American casualties in the Vietnam War were preventing California from experiencing the big one. Which is the big, the big. As the war wound down, Mullen claimed his father instructed him via telepathy to raise the number of human sacrifices to nature in order to delay a catastrophic earthquake that would plunge California into the ocean. David Berkovich may also be an example of a visionary serial killer, having claimed the demon transmitted orders through his neighbour's dog and instructed him to commit murder. Berkovich later described those claims as a hoax and originally concluded by that. I mean, what? Why would you say that? And then I was only joking.
I can't believe that. Yeah, no, it's just so stupid.
What a weird thing to do, like, honestly. You were saying about one earlier on about media.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I'll just read this one it's long, but I'll read it anyway. So, many serial killers claim that a violent culture influenced them to commit murders. During his final interview, Ted Bundy stated that hardcore pornography was responsible for his actions. Well, okay. Yeah. Others idolized figures for their deeds or perceived vigilante justice, such as Peter Curtin, who idolized Jack the Ripper, you were talking about him earlier on, or John Wayne Gacy and Ed Kemper, who both idolized the actor John Wayne. That's why John Wayne Gacy was...
right.
Many I was going to say many boobies. Oh, so bad. Many movies, books, and you can see where I got it from there. Yeah. And documentaries have been written about serial killers, detailing the lives and crimes that have been committed. The movie Bundy, which was released in 2002, focuses on serial killer Ted Bundy's personal life in college, leading up to his execution. Another movie, Dahmer, obviously from Jeffrey Dahmer, was released in the same year. There you go. I didn't know that. I might actually give that a watch because he was just ridiculous. Like, Dennis Rader was another one who went in through. He saw a spree basically. He was sort of one of the first ones that had a serial spree. Yeah, which is a bit crazy. There's one you were talking about earlier on, power control. The main objective for this type of serial killer is to gain an expert power. No, that's to gain and exert power over the victim, which you said was Ted Bundy. You think which I would agree.
Yeah, but that was a guess, like based on what I'd read. Just so like a lot of his.
You watched some of the TV show as well, have you not? So
yeah.
Would
you?
And
I would still agree because he seemed to go for people that. He was like, "Oh look, I'm good looking. Oh help me," and then I'm just gonna do it.
I'm good looking. Oh help me.
Well, that's what he was sort of.
Yeah,
was.
no, you're
he
not
was
wrong.
like,
Yeah,
I can't carry this. I've got my arm in a sling, and then next thing he was handcuffing them and doing them in.
Yeah.
So,
it's poor choice of words there. Like,
no, he was sort of doing that. Disgusting, really. So
yeah. Such killers are sometimes abused as children. leaving them with feelings of powerlessness and inadequacy. I can barely speak today. As adults, many power or control motivated killers sexually abuse their victims, which is what you said earlier on.
Yeah.
But they differ from hedonistic killers in that rape is not motivated by lust, as it would be with a lust murder. It's strange. Lust murders, I've read an awful lot about them as well. But it's simply another form of dominating the victim. Here we go. Ted Bundy is an example of a power control orientated serial killer. He travelled around the United States seeking women to control and to then kill. Yeah. Which is, I mean, you just don't. What do you do in that situation? Like once, like he was. I mean, I don't actually want to say anything because you might not got to that part yet.
What about the girl that got away?
No, when he was in court.
See, I know obviously he gets married and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, when he's in prison, so like, I know he was still doing that sort of thing. But no, I haven't got that point. But he's far away. So.
No, there'd be no point because it's just something that you'll watch yourself, and I'm sure if anyone else listens to this at the minute and have watched the documentary, biopic, yeah, or biopic as they all call it. He was bright to an extent, and he had a life and a career. He could have. The path could have been fantastic for him, but he just sort of went the complete opposite direction. But there's right at the end of the show, you'll be a bit sort of. It's hard to say, but I think if you're like, if we sort of have the same sort of minds with these sort of things, I think you'll be like, what I've just read there might describe his sort of upbringing.
Yeah,
and the parents are, I think, more to blame than what he would be.
See, it's funny because the way in that the show sort of shows his like childhood, it wasn't like he thinks, oh, I was a normal child, I had friends and blah blah, and then people that sort of hung around with him or didn't in some cases were sort of like, well, no, he wasn't like that at all. So he does have sort of delusion there.
He's got like a split personality disorder or something.
Yeah, well, even as I say, whenever you see that anger kick in and like, and they mention like. The survivor mentioned about his eyes, about how they were like dead whenever he was like gonna do it to her.
But I think even when looking at him, whenever we're watching the show, like there's some angles he just looks at you like he's just looking at nothing though. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not looking. He's looking through you. Yeah. He just doesn't. He hasn't got a clue. Like, and I think obviously he would be the only one that we've actually seen in this sort of at the depth, because there's so many things that was recorded and released on him and stuff, and people went through his murders and whatnot. But I think looking at this sort of stuff and seeing sort of his upbringing, but right at the end it got me. Like I was like, oh, give me goosebumps. I was like, that's just creepy. Yeah. But I dare say you'll say this.
We've either 1 or 2 left. I think if there's 4 episodes, we've got 1 left. If there's 5, we have 2.
Okay.
Or something like that. Like we either have 1 or 2 left. I can't remember.
I dare say we'll agree on the majority of the points. Like, but there will be a point at the end. You'll be the same way. I dare say, and I think on either the last or the second to last episode, you'll be like, well.
I have a funny feeling it's second to last because we've watched 3. I think it's 5.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, either way, we've got the point where he's just about to go to court, and he was basically been planning how to run the distances with his legs, like in chains and stuff, like to the river, and then that lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, you're not too far then. You're not too far behind, but I think you'll be like your mind will be absolutely blown as to what some of the things people are saying about him, and then about his family. It's just, I mean, the amount of depth that was in this documentary or biopic or whatever you want to call it, it's crazy. Like, and I don't think they're
episode 3 of 4. Yeah. So we have 2 left.
So you have 2 left then. Yeah. So yeah, these last 2 are like the sort of the ones that made it or break it for like I was halfway through. I was like, this is really interesting and stuff, but I just wasn't like intrigued enough to know what was going on. Like, if I already read some things about Ted Bundy like years ago and stuff, but it wasn't really much that I thought it was going to interest me or intrigue me all that much. But then the last 2 episodes, I was just like, I need to find out what happens here because this is just obviously the end of his streak or whatever you want to call it. But I think the last 2 episodes, I was like, there needs to be some reason. You can't just be like, I'm just Ted Bundy and I'm an idiot.
That's what I do.
Yeah. But the last 2 episodes are definitely up there for. It gave me goosebumps at the end, and I was just like, this. The whole thing was just based off a lie, basically. Like it's crazy. But that other one that you need to watch as well, you'll.
Confession tapes or
No, the abducted. Abducted in plain sight.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the meme somewhere around the.
I've seen a lot.
Around
And
Facebook.
Rachel has watched it without me, so I can watch it whenever.
No.
Yeah, I was pretty annoyed at that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty annoyed. She watched it and she was like, "Oh, you used to do that." I was like, "Well, I was wanting to." She was like, "Well, you didn't say." I was like, "I don't need to tell you everything I want to watch. I just expect that we'll sit down and watch things."
Yeah, well, that was the understanding from Laura and I. Well, she told me about it, and I looked at the trailer and I was like, "Trailer looks a bit meh."
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch something that's about rape, but.
Like she asked me, she was like, "Are you gonna watch you? You're gonna watch you? You're gonna watch you?" I was like she asked me again today. I was like, "Look, just watch it. I'm probably not gonna get around."
Very
to watching
good.
it. I've heard, but I'm probably not gonna get around to watch it for a while.
Very good.
She's read the book, so she's interested. So
I don't think you'll enjoy it.
me,
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy the acting and stuff and the premise and stuff, but I don't think you'll enjoy it as much as she would.
yeah, she will enjoy it. But I just sort of said to her, "Look, watch it. I'm not gonna get time. I'm trying to finish a lot of the Marvel stuff before it disappears." And
that makes sense, I suppose. Yeah.
Ted Bundy, we need to finish that together. Anyways, that's now 2 hours. So
Yeah, right enough. Actually, it's quite long. But yeah, the abducted in plain sight one is
messed up.
nothing to do with serial killers, obviously. Like, but it is very.
It's another recommendation to watch.
It's weird. Like, it is really, really weird, man. You'll watch it and you'll be like,
How did this
What?
even happen? Yeah.
you just be like, what? How is this even possible? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've read, and I'll say I've sort of read sort of a synopsis. I haven't like ruined it, but like, because obviously, the whole premise of the thing is to get the opinions of those involved.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've read, it's just how it even went on
To me,
without her being taken off the parents.
To me, it's a very, very far-fetched real life story.
It's just so weird.
I think it's insane that it happened, but again, the only explanation for that is that it's America.
And she's in it as well, isn't she?
Yeah. That's what I was saying, because it was Lauren told me about it, and I was like, I went and had a little bit, I didn't really dig that deep into it, like, but I just had a little look online to see what it was about, and the fact that she was in it, I was like, I don't want this to be something I'm watching, and, you know, she was sexually abused as a kid, and now she's talking about it. That's what I didn't want to see, but you sort of have to listen to that in order
to get the full story.
Which is, I was just really uncomfortable watching it, especially with Lauren, because I don't really like thinking about those sort of things, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really weird, because you wouldn't wish that on anybody. You wouldn't want anyone to be
even your worst
abducted.
enemy.
But even a kid or even an adult now, or you know, anyone of any age, you wouldn't want anyone to be in that sort of position. And I just think the fact that someone's made a documentary, I think it's crazy. Like, but.
Well, it's one of those things that it's probably not a bad thing to draw attention to.
Yeah, I suppose good. Yeah, I suppose in that sense, yeah. But the way some things are perceived, and I was like, man, I was getting goosebumps and everything. I was like, oh no,
disgusting.
Not a fan at all. I liked the show, but I didn't like
that it happened.
Yeah, it was really strange. But it's not really serial killer based. But I think we'll end this one here, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and if you haven't watched any of that stuff, go and watch it, because if you're intrigued by all this sort of stuff, then you'll probably be intrigued by that.
It goes into far more detail.
Yeah, we usually scratch the surface in most things, and I dare say we'll probably come back to serial killers at some point, because there are so many out there that you probably want to, you know
avoid.
more about.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I'll avoid. In real life, you want to avoid them, like, but you know, thankfully the majority of the ones we talked about are all dead. But yeah, what?
Rightly so.
Rightly so, yeah. But yeah, cheers, folks, for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Don't do that.
Yes, do that.
That's creepy.